Objective 2. Construct and interpret dot plots. Example, a survey asked adults aged 18 to 30 how many hours they spend on social media, Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, and so on, per day. The results of the survey are given below. So here are the results of the times, but there are 18 recordings, so therefore there's a total of 18 recordings. So we're going to construct a dot plot. And this is hours spent on social media per day. So if you see here, we go from 0 hours to 9 hours because the lowest number here is 0 in our data. So 0 is the smallest number. And it goes all the way to 9, which is our largest number. So we create our number lines. We go from 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So now what we want to do is, now we're going to put a dot for how many there are for each particular hours. So how many zeros do we have in this category? Well, we have 1, so we put 1 dot in there. Okay, how many 1s do we have? We have 1 and then 2, so we have 2 dots. How many 2s do we have? We have 1, 2, 3, and 4, so we have 4 dots for 2. How many 3s do we have? We have 1, 2, 3, 4, so we have 4 dots for 3. For 4 hours, we have 1, 2, 3, so there's 3 dots for 4 hours. For 5 hours, we have 1 dot. For 6 hours, we have 1 dot. For 7 hours, we have none. For 8, we have 1, and then for 9, we have 1. So therefore, we've constructed a dot plot. Now for part B, it says, what proportion of observations are between 0 and 4 inclusive? Okay, so how do we find that? Okay, inclusive means that you need to include 0 and 4. So let's take a look at all the dots that are in between 0 and 4 and then count them. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So that's 14 out of the total of 18. So the proportion is 0.78 of observations that are between 0 and 4 inclusive. Now, the next question says, what proportion of observations is at least 3 hours? Now, at least means 3 or more, so it's really important to understand what at least means. So every time you see at least, it means whatever that number is or more. So we need to include the 3 and go all the way to 9. So how many dots do we have? We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11. So that means 11 over 18 is approximately 0.61. So 0.61 represents the proportion of observations that is at least 3 hours, which means 3 hours or more. Okay, next it says, what proportion of observations is less than 7 hours? So this question does not say anything about inclusive. So you cannot include 7, even though it doesn't have a dot there anyway, but you're not including that. So you're going to include everything that's less than 7 hours, which goes from 6 to 0. So let's count the dots. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So there's 16 over 18, which gives you 0.89. 0.89 is the proportion of observations that is less than 7 hours. Next question, it says, what proportion of observations is greater than 5 hours? So again, it's not saying inclusive, so you cannot include the 5. You're going to have to include 6 and everything above. So how many dots do we have above the 6? We have 1, 2, 3. So that's 3 over 18, which is approximately 0.17. So 0.17 represents the proportion of observations that is greater than 5 hours. So again, you want to pay particularly close attention to see if it says inclusive. If it says inclusive, then you include the numbers that are given. If it doesn't say it at all and it says less than or greater than, then you're not going to include the 5 or the 7, as we did in parts D and E. In part F, it says, what observation has the greatest frequency? So by looking at the dot plot, okay, which numbers have the highest dots? Well, if we look, there's 2 and 3 which have the same. So, number 1, the observation with greatest frequency is 2 hours and 3 hours. The next question says, what is that frequency? Okay, so what is the frequency of that? Well, how many people here and how many people there? Well, what that says is frequency is 4, which is the number of people. So there are 4 number of people that have 2 hours, and there's 4 number of people that have 3 hours. Part 3, what does the frequency mean in a situation? That means that 4 people each spent 2 or 3 hours on social media per day.